One of my favorite strategies for investing is value investing. But value investing is one of the investing strategies that takes the most work. So understanding how to value invest is extremely important. And today, I'm going to talk about a few books that blew my mind and taught me how to value invest. The first one is the most famous value investing book of all time. And this is one that Warren Buffett read, and this is the one that he actually learned from his mentor, Benjamin Graham. And it's called The Intelligent Investor. Now, The Intelligent Investor is a difficult read if you're new to investing, so it's one that you want to read a couple times in a row to make sure that you understand the concepts. But what it talks about is how to read financial reports, figure out the underlying value of a company, look at the book value of a company, and understand when a company is undervalued. Because that is the entire goal for us as value investors. And this, in my opinion, is the manual on how to do this. So if you want to become a value investor, picking up The Intelligent Investor is absolutely a must. And it's something that you definitely want to do and read over and over again, maybe even once a year, so that you have the understanding of how to build wealth while value investing. The next one is another fantastic book and one that I truly love, and it's the Warren Buffett Way. And if you want to become a value investor, Warren Buffett is by far the greatest value investor of all time. His returns beat the market years and decades in a row. And Warren Buffett is worth well over $100 billion now. But the Warren Buffett Way talks about how he started to build businesses and how he found value in companies that he would buy. And it goes through basically the mind of Warren Buffett and why he bought what he bought. So the Warren Buffett Way is a fantastic read. The first time I read it, I couldn't put it down because it was so fascinating to me. The next one is by Peter Lynch, and it's called Beating the Street. And Peter Lynch was one of the greatest investors in the 90s. And what this book talks about is how to figure out how companies are actually doing. Not only looking at the financial reports, but going into the stores, figuring out what they're doing, figuring out what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And would you buy this company if you were out there going to buy the company in its entirety? And it's how to think about it like a small business owner, like someone who's going to go buy a small business, how to look at the company in full before you start investing. It's a great book and a great way to change your outlook and to mix up the way you're thinking about value investing. And then finally, the last one is one that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, and it's called The Dondo Investor. Now, the author of this book is Mohnish Pabrai. And if you've never heard of Mohnish Pabrai, he has been called the next Warren Buffett. But what he talks about in this book, and it gives the story of how a lot of Indian immigrants come over to the United States and they buy hotels undervalued. And it talks about how they're taking these hotels and buying them as value investments. And there's extremely important lessons in here because then he ties it into the market and how you can use it within your value investing career over time. So this is a fantastic book if you have not read it, and it's one that I think is extremely underrated and that everybody should be reading, especially if you're a value investor. And two honorable mentions that I'll throw out is Poor Charlie's Almanac, which is written by Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's business partner and just as good as him at value investing. It's a fantastic book. The only thing about that book is it does have a high price tag. And the last one is Rule Number 1 Investing by Phil Town, who's another great value investor and lays out his strategy as well on how he took lessons from Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and all these other investors, and he put them into this book as well. Listen, I'll link all the books below if you guys want to check them out. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. And what are some other great value investing books that you like as well? Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you like this video, here are some more videos that I know you're going to love. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see ya on the next video.